I wanted to talk about my training plan, or I guess this video will be um, talking about the. Fuck. So weird. So fucking weird talking to a camera for the first time. Alright. I'm sure the lighting is probably shit, but the first month I set up everything to be like basically 2 of each bike, run, swim, or swim, run, or swim, bike, run, if you want to do it in the triathlon order. And that went pretty good. I don't know if the camera will be able to see it or if I'll be able to edit in, but basically 2 bikes, 2 runs, 2 swims every week, and then had some lifting stuff worked in there. Everything with a red dot was a day that I changed. So from what the original plan was, which I think of a photo of it, like just a normal iPhone photo. This is also now being shot on iPhone, but maybe I could throw that up while I'm talking about this. That worked super good. Then my idea was, because I was already training a little bit before that. That was February. Then a full month of like an actual dedicated plan, and then I was gonna move to the 2-a-days, because for most of the videos that I've seen so far, it's been most people have been recommending 3 of each thing: 3 swims, 3 runs, or 3 swims, 3 bikes, 3 runs. Trying to keep that order just for whatever sake. That turns out to be a lot, right? The whole point after work athletics, like doing this while maintaining all your other normal stuff, and I'm going to make a whole video dedicated to that as far as like what my normal routine looks like, or maybe I've already shot at this point or whatever it is, but point is, pretty full normal person schedule with normal things. This first month of like a dedicated strict plan worked pretty well. All my numbers went up, everything got faster, everything got easier, so I was going good. And then as soon as I tried to dedicate, maybe I'll try to stand on this side, I have no fucking clue. As soon as I tried to dedicate 2-a-days in March, I pretty much immediately got shin splints. Cue or add fucking another video. I think I'm like about to get in the cold plunge that I talk about that. Just got done with a 2.3 mile run. Did not go super well. It was supposed to be 4 miles and had some pretty bad shin splints. So not pretty bad, but bad enough where I was concerned about it, and I was like, all right, we're gonna cut this a little bit early. But yeah, basically, as soon as this first week of March hit, shin splints, not as good sleep, like everything was kind of fucked up. And I thought if I lowered the intensity, but started the 2-a-days, that would be the trade-off, right? So like going pretty much as hard as I could, or like giving like max effort per the type of workout that it was, and then trying to cut that effort down to like, I don't know, like 30-40% of what I probably was able to do on any of these given workouts would kind of spare the overuse, over injury. Did not work. Legs felt like shit, body didn't feel great. So anyways, this 2-week block, actually, let me talk about what this is. Again, I hope the camera can see this, but basically R bike, or R run, B bike, S swim, L lift. The lift, I'm pretty much going to actually just get rid of at this point, because I was actually, which I'll also talk about in a different video, coming off some shoulder injury stuff when I really started this, so I was only able to do very minimal lifting, which is why I actually wrote it onto the board. But things have been going good, so it's not really a factor anymore, and you can pretty much just assume when I talk about this plan that, or like my workout regimen, whatever it is, I'm trying to lift every day, right? Or at least like a normal, pretty much Arnold split of, chest, tri, back, bi, legs, run all those twice a week, plus a rest day, so 6 lifts, which is going to kind of coincide with the new plan, but, RBS, run, bike, swim. And then for what type it is was the color. So if it was red, it was a speed work, green was tempo, blue was distance. And then if it was just written in black, that means it was like purely a recovery or a like technique focused day. So whether that's really just trying to fix something with my running, or really more so this was kind of for the swim, just like a swim day where maybe you end up totaling 500 meters or something. maybe a little bit more, but really just dedicated to some sort of like part of working on my swim. And then bricks, so B&R, bike and run, and if it's on the same day, then it's bike 30 minutes, run 15 minutes, bike 60, run 30. At the time of taking this video, we are here, March 15th. This 2-week block, I didn't even really pay attention to what I did, because by like, I don't know, probably the 5th or whatever it was, I immediately realized I was not ready to start doing 2-a-days, while also trying to keep up with all my regular hobbies and things like that. It was just way too much. So to be honest with you, this board is kind of scrapped, and I'm going to be, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to be rethinking this a little bit, reworking it, or I have, and that's going to kind of dive into this next video. So again, for a normal 9-to-5 schedule, along with the responsibilities of relatively full-time student, and other like personal entrepreneurship type endeavors, things like that take up time, and personal things, I think for me, 3 of each thing, swim, bike, run, was just way too much. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. March, we have pretty much scrapped the original plan for March. These first 2 weeks did not really go accordingly at all. Really backed off these last like 10 days or so, and only worked out according to how I felt and like what felt good, and that seemed to work really well. So now we are here, the 15th. It was all my Sundays were kind of planned to be rest days, but that is not true. I actually have my Zwift app updating downstairs right now, as well as the Garmin updating the Neo 2, and I'm about to do a just distance recovery type bike. But anyways, plan for March. I feel like I talk to the camera like people are watching shit live, which I'm sure is probably pretty common, fucking common thing for people when they first start doing this, but it's just so funny because I'm literally talking into nothing right now. I'm talking to my fucking phone, which is on the other side of my bed, because this is in my bedroom, because I don't have a dedicated office space, and I just find it hilarious that I could literally edit this out. I'll probably put this part in. But there's so many different times already. So from filming this, I think I've been filming for like 10 minutes, and most of it is probably going to get chopped up, but you kind of feel like somebody's actually watching this right now. I'm talking to myself. So fucking weird. Biking today. Another change to what I'm going to be doing, this speed work. I come from a background where I did some high school sports, I did some training for my job. I just did like personal workout stuff. One of the things, like I just did my first marathon last year, but again, I want to do a separate video as like my background as an athlete, as an after work athlete, right? But I was always just taught like the simple way to go about any like cardio type thing is a speed work day, a tempo type of day, and a distance day. I stand by that. If you're not trying to go out and do, you know, half iron distance, 70.3, or like full iron distance, which I feel like I'm not even qualified to talk about either of those, but from, again, what I get from these other YouTubers and from my own experience with like different type of activities and training and stuff like that, I still stand by a speed work day. If it's not crazy distance, I still think this is very helpful. And if you're just trying to get in shape in general and you want to mix it up and then not always be this like arduous, grueling, you're right on the cusp of like a zone 4, zone 5, even if you don't know what that is, but just your body feeling, heart rate, that shit sucks. I hate that the most. I do stand by, for general athleticism and stuff, this 3 speed, tempo, distance strategy works super well. But for our purposes and what I'm thinking right now, I'm sure this will change and I'll put out like update videos and shit like that as I kind of vlog or whatever. But I'm going to stop attempting to do 2-a-days for cardio specifically, and I'm going to alter it to hopefully a morning cardio session, unless it's like the distance bike, which just when we get into like the 2-3 hour territory, I'm not getting up that early before work. But the run, the swim, and the shorter bikes are all achievable, at least for me and my schedule, before I go to work, so that way I can lift when I get done from work, come home, do like schoolwork, that kind of thing, and still leave myself a little bit of time each day for either like filming and editing, or just lounging, relaxing, hanging out with friends, family, that kind of good stuff. So, yeah, I'm probably about to pause my camera right now because I think I've been filming for like 15 minutes straight, and I have no clue how much storage this iPhone even has. I'm also getting used to working with these mics and how the audio transfers over and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. To finish up this second video, first one talking about the training plan, I just went to the small whiteboard. This is pretty much what the first month, what February ended up looking like originally. I have class on Wednesdays and Thursday nights, so trying to avoid doing any sort of distance or longer swims. Like I can do a technique swim and get that done before I'd have to get to class, or just using those as my rest days is definitely easier, but trying to create some sort of at least a little bit of change or dynamic in the week. So like I talked about in the main video or main portion of the video, it's just 2 bikes, 2 swims, 2 runs per week. And then the reason I have it tailored in this exact way, I got rid of the speed work, and I'm trying to leave the Wednesday, Thursday time frames open as much as possible, still get rest in. And then, yeah, this is what the bulk of the training plan is going to look like for right now, until I either progress enough to where I can start doing the 2-a-days, meaning 3 of each of the swim, run, bike. This did really well for the first, I was basically doing it for the first 2 months because I didn't really plan January as much, like a set schedule, but this is essentially what I was doing. And then was planned for February, and it did go really well. So I'm just going to continue doing this. I think I'm like 120 some odd days out from Boise, and we'll see how it goes.